Hello, dear friends. Sometimes they tell their plans if you listen carefully. Opinion piece. Risks of artificial intelligence. Empirical materialism. Dystopian comments. That's not the divine plan. Nothing subtle about the Davos Forum. Manipulation of human beings. We are entering troubled waters. Let's start. Dystopian remarks by Davos Forum advisor Yuval Noah Harari, in quotes. Today we have the technology to hack humans and on a massive scale. And by that I mean if you have enough data and enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves. And then you can manipulate them in ways that were impossible before. You know the whole idea that humans have this soul, this spirit, and they have free will. That's go. Close quotes. The soul and the spirit are over. This would be empirical materialism in the service of a totalitarian system that only what you can see, hear and touch is real. I am not surprised by this belief system. I am surprised that the Davos Forum is so explicit about it. Empirical materialism is a philosophical current based on empiricism and materialism. It is a perspective that stresses the importance of sensory experience in understanding the world and rejects any form of knowledge that cannot be verified through direct observation and experience. Empirical materialism holds that everything in the universe, including minds and consciousness, has a material basis and can be explained in terms of the interaction of physical particles and forces. It denies the existence of any transcendent or supernatural entities or phenomena. In 2012, former DARPA director Regina Dugan explained how ID microchips worked. The pill has a little chip inside with a switch. When you swallow it, the acids in your stomach serve as an electrolyte and that turns it on and create an 18-bit wide signal, and your body becomes its authentication token. Manipulation. We have an official acknowledgement that they want to manipulate people into giving up their freedom and their belief in the transcendent, in exchange for a vague claim that we will all be happy. Some argue that happiness is found in the satisfaction of basic needs, while others of us focus on the search for spiritual connection. Technology poses new challenges to free will and to the way we understand and experience our own autonomy. Yuval Noah Harari, historian and author, has commented on the challenges and risks posed by technology in today's world. One of the issues he has addressed is the ability of technology to influence and manipulate people on a large scale. In his statement, Harari mentions that with enough data and computing power, it is possible to understand people better than they understand themselves. This refers to the ability of algorithms and artificial intelligence systems to analyze and process vast amounts of information about people's preferences, behaviors, and characteristics. Through this analysis, technologies can generate detailed profiles and predict their actions and decisions more accurately than individuals themselves can. Furthermore, Harari wants that this ability to understand and manipulate people can be used to influence them in ways that were previously unthinkable. This refers to the ability of algorithms and artificial intelligence systems to personalize and target information and content to each individual in order to influence his decisions or her decisions, behaviors and opinions. This raises concerns about privacy, individual autonomy, and the possibility of mass manipulation through technology. That's not the plan. According to Steve Biko, the people behind this dystopian vision must be those to whom Mother Divine referred when she commented on those in positions where control and abuse of power have been rampant. That will not be the platform from which the integration of the various galaxies in the new region of space will take place. That is not the divine plan, and it will not happen. Cloud and other technologies are not driving anything. They are neutral. It is your use of them that is driving your new systemic wealth transformation or great reset. Hacking human beings on a large scale would be a crime against humankind. There seems to be nothing subtle about the Davos Forum. James Bond author Ian Fleming could not have written a better script. Ethics and responsibility must be considered to ensure that they are used appropriately and with respect for people's right and dignity. Every scientific and technological advance must be critically evaluated, and it is essential that society is involved in the dialogue. Ethical boundaries lie in making decisions about how technology is used. This involves taking into account privacy, security, and individual autonomy. Reset News. We are no longer on the precipice. It is no longer the calm before the storm. The storm is here and now. We are entering turbulent waters. We are going to witness amazing and unimaginable world events. It will be devastating for those who are unprepared. It will be exciting for some. In quotes, where there are no storms, there are no rainbows. If you love rainbows, you must also love storms. Winners never quit. Losers never win. Enjoy the storm. Grand Finale, Salvation. Sign it, John McAfee. Summer will ignite with unprecedented revelations. As the summer heat intensifies, so does the pressure on those who have operated in the shadows. Get ready to uncover the truth about the world's most influential families and their iron grip on the global economy. The four horsemen of banking, including Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo, join forces with the four horsemen of oil, including ExxonMobil, Royal Dutch Shell, BP, and Chevron Texaco. The Fed Bank reveals a $37 billion loss, the greatest or the largest in its history. Central banks are bankrupt, but it has not yet been revealed to the public. This is the coalition's soft landing approach to avoid tragedy and suffering. The bankruptcy disclosure will be done in phases to ensure that it does not create a total collapse of citizens around the world all at once. We cannot move from the old monetary system to a new one without pain and suffering. David Wilcox reveals that there is an underground base beneath Denver International Airport, which is over 22 miles in diameter and descends in 8 levels. Failure is not an option by Juan Osabi. You can't just be a summer soldier. You come when it was warm enough, but now it's winter, and you didn't think it would last. It would last this long. The whole world is online. The things that were done to us were planned for the millennium. This goes back to the beginning of humankind. This exact moment in the struggle for us is everything. If we make a mistake in our life, we will not have the opportunity to fix it again. Everything is on the line. You have to make the decision that you are in the fight against all odds. Failure is not an option. The die is cast. Puffness said. Some talkers saying that the RV would take place this weekend. If it were to happen this weekend, it wouldn't last long because the banks would shut down any business where people withdraw funds to exchange for foreign currency, and that would not be a good situation. They could go and get the exchange, but not to take that much cash out of any of the banks because the banks don't have it, because they don't want to lose their dollars, and because the banks are not prepared for large cash withdrawal transactions. The dam would break as soon as the contractions were completed. If you can go to any bank and make a deal, that is not a done deal. There are a lot of traders and backdoor issues. You have to overcome a lot of issues that are in play, and many banks are not equipped or are ill-equipped on handle that as well. Bankers may come back with a different dollar, but there is an every man for himself spirit these days. The ingredients of a crisis are also right in the middle of all this. We are waiting for much better news as these problems unfold. The die is cast, and the days and weeks ahead are sure to be very uncomfortable for many, as well as extremely confusing. Money makes the world go round when there is enough of it. News. Historical leaders of the PSOE, Spanish Socialist Party, threaten split if Pedro Sánchez doesn't resign. Oil prices rise after Saudi Arabia's decision to cut production. A mystery trader makes $7.5 million on the debt ceiling deal. Trump backer John Rumpel's private plane crashes southwest of Virginia after being intercepted by F-16 fighter jets. John Rumpel told the Washington Post that members of his family, including his daughter, a granddaughter, and his nanny, were on board. The family was returning to East Hampton, New York, after a 4-day trip to their home in North Carolina, adding that his granddaughter, who was 2 years old. I'm very sorry. More than 1,800 euros a month for 2 years. This is the basic income pilot program proposed by England. Alert. Mexico issued warnings that the Popocatépetl volcano is likely to erupt, threatening 25 million nearby residents who may have to be evacuated. A Pemex pipeline exploded there on 25th May. The heavy fall of the North American mainland is causing this. The South Pacific is compressing. South America and the continent are moving into the void that has opened up there. This is non-stop plate movement. Yesterday, Sunday, 4th June, a magnetic filament erupted from the southern hemisphere of the Sun. The eruption hurled a solar storm into space in the direction of Earth. A NASA model suggests a glancing blow on 7th June, probably. A massive sunspot AR3310, 4 times the size of Earth, is visible without a telescope. The size of one of the sun's sunspots has increased to the point where it can be seen without magnification, but eye protection is recommended while viewing. Ascension. Massive ascension activation imminent by aurora ray. Unified field technology is working day and night to free every human being from this matrix. This will happen sooner than you think. Every person, no matter where they live, will be released from this matrix of fear. If you wish to transform the planet, you must begin with yourself. With the unification of the field comes ascension. It is a new beginning of a connection to your physical and spiritual self through a lateral connection to the unified field. The unified field is infinite and eternal and exists within each of you. It is a field of energy that binds all things together. It cannot be seen or measured by any device created by human being. Yet it exists, and it will change your life forever. We have offered you the most powerful technology in the universe. The Earth and all its inhabitants are undergoing a profound change, a change that has been prophesied in all spiritual traditions since the beginning of time. You hold the key to your own destiny in your hands. You are about to make a quantum leap in consciousness, and it is up to each of you to decide whether you will make that leap for yourself or not. The planet is undergoing an ascension into higher frequencies of light, but it cannot do so without your help. Ascension means raising your vibrational energy frequency to be compatible with that of the higher dimensions. When enough people have raised their frequency, then the Earth will ascend with them, and there will be no more disease, war, greed, poverty, ignorance, and suffering. Once the activation of ascension has taken place, you will be able to communicate with your higher self consciously, allowing you to connect with your guides and channel your highest self directly. These new abilities and channels of communication will allow all humankind to discover their true capabilities. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.